is a specific C# repository sitting on GitHub right now with over 1,200 stars and 128 forks, and it is operating in a state of total legal ambiguity. The Handcrafted Persona Engine carries a glaring missing license status, documented entirely in the open under issue number 7. This raises an immediate question. Why is the developer community actively pulling down a framework with such obvious commercial integration risks? This legal liability is being tolerated because the repository successfully solves one of the most agonizing architectural headaches in modern interactive AI deployment. The standard AI VTuber architecture is a fragile, tangled web of multi-process scripts. VTube Studio runs alongside Python modules, external APIs, and OBS plugins. If one local dependency breaks, the entire chain collapses. Passing data between these disparate tools also introduces heavy latency. Inter-process communication constantly forces the system to pause, sync, and wait. The Handcrafted Persona Engine abandons the microservice model entirely. It strips away the disjointed components in favor of a single, unified C# executable. It achieves this by embedding ONNX and CUDA inference directly through a unified bootstrapper. There are no external API calls required for the core functions to run. Consolidating these processes effectively eliminates network latency. The result is a highly efficient, closed loop that moves from raw microphone audio straight to spout-rendered frames. To understand how it achieves this speed, think of the engine as an automated assembly line operating strictly under one roof, rather than shipping individual parts between different cloud providers. Microphone audio is buffered directly into a Celero voice activity detection module, rapidly isolating speech from background noise. The VAD immediately hands off that clean audio buffer to a dual whisper Onyx pipeline, generating a highly accurate local transcription. That transcribed text merges with instructions from personality.txt. This combined context feeds directly into the central LLM engine. The LLM generates text output, which is immediately forwarded into the audio synthesis phase using Kokoro or Qwen3 engines. Before rendering, the audio passes through an optional real-time RVC retargeting step to clone specific voice characteristics. Finally, the completed audio and animation data is piped straight into OBS over Spout, bypassing the overhead of legacy window capture methods. While cloud-scale commercial platforms rely on distributed backends to process these steps, every single phase we just mapped out relies entirely on local hardware. Achieving sub-second conversational latency in an AI avatar does not require an enterprise cloud cluster. It requires aggressive, uncompromising local process consolidation. The most difficult engineering challenge in this pipeline is state management, specifically controlling the Live2D avatar without relying on slow API callbacks. The traditional method for avatar control is highly unreliable. It relies on a diff watching pattern, attempting to guess when to trigger an animation by continuously monitoring the raw text output for changes. Pull Request 20 introduced an architectural shift away from that catch-all conversation updating approach. The repository introduced an Emotion Extractor module. This parses inline metadata tags directly from the probabilistic token stream. It bridges the gap between raw text and physical action by transforming those parsed metadata tags into deterministic type C# events. This directly impacts the render loop. The typed event instantly overrides the Live2D rendering parameters, changing the avatar's facial expression in real time. By treating the LLM stream as a structured data source rather than a simple text generator, the application achieves a hardware-accelerated emotional response that remains in lockstep with the synthesis. The tight architectural coupling that makes this pipeline incredibly fast is the exact same feature that introduces severe operational bottlenecks. By tying the C# execution directly to local hardware, the engine creates a localized native dependency hell. Issue 25 perfectly illustrates this. Users experience hard crashes immediately on launch because their Windows native libraries are slightly misaligned with the software's expectations. If the underlying CUDA runtime version is off, or if a single raw binary like llama.dll is out of date, the entire monolithic application fails to boot. This rigid structure also creates critical localization failures for global users. Issues 11, 12, and 14 show that the English-centric pipeline fails entirely with Chinese or Korean models, outplaying strings of unreadable question marks. The monolith trades hardware flexibility and global locale support for pure, optimized execution speed. Which brings us back to the primary red flag. the missing project license. Regardless of its fast inference times or its popularity on GitHub, the lack of an explicit license means the repository defaults to all rights reserved. Integrating this engine into any commercial stack right now constitutes an unjustifiable legal liability. This forces a distinct architectural debate. Is the operational convenience of a single, unified executable actually worth the resulting trade-offs? You must weigh that low-latency speed against building on an unlicensed framework that instantly crashes if a single native binary is out of place. If this saved you time, hit subscribe. We review tools like this every week, so you're always ahead. Now, if you liked this AI architecture, you're going to love our breakdown of hyperframes. Ultimately, building software requires choosing your compromises. Monolithic architectures will always offer incredible latency advantages by removing network hops. But until rigorous engineering practices and clear licensing are applied, that speed remains confined to local experiments rather than reliable production deployments.